No Chill Sports is an unapologetic, high-energy sports show where opinions fly fast and facts hit hard. The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the hosts and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of any affiliated networks, sponsors, or partners. Content may include passionate debates, bold predictions, and unfiltered takes that some viewers may find intense or controversial. Listener discretion is advised. If you're looking for chill, this ain't the place.
Hey, welcome back to another hot episode of HBCU Hour, where the legacy lives loud and the culture takes center stage. From the gridiron to the hardwood, we shine spotlight on the soul of Black college sport. And this ain't just coverage, it's a celebration. By myself tonight, for a short time until I get my guest up. Major shout out to my man Ant, taking care of business, man. Praying for you. But we got some special guests in the building. We get to talk some Hampton football. Our property value went down, so you know how it is when you invite them folks to the neighborhood. We might have a little bit of A&T for a minute. Got my man Dave in here sticking around. But first, before we jump into talking to the fellas from the CAA, we do have some big news out of Destin, Florida at the 25-26 SWAC spring meetings. It was announced today that all 12 of the SWAC members, all 12 institutions have opted into the House settlement. Additionally, the league placed no scholarship caps on any of the sports in which the conference currently participates. Dr. McClellan gave this quote: "This is undoubtedly a significant moment for Southwestern Athletic Conference and our 12-member institution. As we move forward into the new era of intercollegiate athletics, the Southwestern Athletic Conference remains steadfast in our commitment to provide our membership with the resources needed to positively impact our student athletes academically and athletically." Major shout out to the SWAC for getting this done, announcing this at this time. Don't be surprised if you see the MEAC follow suit. Don't be surprised. I see that coming fairly soon. But looking forward to that. But y'all know what time it is. I know y'all ain't here to just listen to me babble on. So let's give a shout out to our sponsors at Dubby, and then we'll bring up our guests. Dubby is a powdered energy drink aimed at gamers and individuals seeking focus and energy. It's known for its clean ingredients, no jitters, and various flavors. Dubby is also available in a hydration formula for those needing electrolytes. Dubby achieves a smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugars, no fillers, no artificial flavors, no artificial colors or dyes. Try Dubby today by scanning the QR code on screen or visit them at the website bit.ly/NoChillDubby. Dubby, your taste buds' favorite energy drink. We got one half of the duo with us tonight. Get to welcome in our man Big Reek to HBCU Hour. And at least for a brief moment, we got our man Dave representing A&T. Thank you, fellas, for joining us. Appreciate y'all for coming through. And y'all just do. Hold on. Let's see if we get this thing. There we go.
At least I get the applause before my internet goes away. While I'm on that
You're so kind.
Fellas, how y'all been, man? I appreciate y'all for coming through.
Thanks for
Dave?
having us, man. Been a while.
Yeah, it has.
I
It really
appreciate
has. I told you, man. Go
I
ahead, Dave. My
appreciate the
bad. I
invite,
ain't mean
guy.
to cut you off.
No, you good. You good. Nah, we appreciate the invite. You know, I was hoping that the train internet would
Uh,
work.
yeah, start cutting out a little bit, but we gonna push through, man. We're gonna get through there.
Yeah, let's push
Fellas,
it.
it's been like you said, Reek. It's been a long time. I on our behalf, our apologies. We had, I ain't gonna say we took some time off, but we were working through trying to get things going. We weren't paying it. Honestly, football season last year was crazy for us. But man, I'm so glad to be back doing this. Look forward to this time every year. Typically, we have the CAA members up first, and we talked to y'all the first week. We decided to go a different route, but looking
That ain't
forward to
working.
having this conversation. And before we go, move forward, we must look back. Dave, you like you frozen. I don't know if you're still with us. Can you hear me? All right, I think we
Nah,
lost
he's
Dave.
stuck.
Yeah, we lost Dave. Big Reek, let's talk to you, man. Hampton last year, pretty good season. It wasn't what you all hoped, but it was a lot better than expected from a lot of people.
Yep, true. I mean, I think we hoped they would finish over 500, but it was a successful season, I guess. Once you look at it, take a look back. I mean, we lost the last 4 games, but we lost to number 12 Villanova by 6. We lost to Towson 17. We lost to number 7 Richmond by 3. And then we lost to Albany. I think that was an overtime by 7. So, 2 of those teams were ranked, and we should have beat 3 of them actually. So, a couple things go different ways. They say we could have, been over 500 and been sniffing the playoff. But see, we also only lost by Richmond. I mean, Rhode Island by 2, and they went to I think they were playoffs too. So they were number 25 at the end of the year. So it was a good season. I mean, we beat Norfolk State and Howard, so that always counts. And we beat A&T. That was a close game against A&T, so I was happy about that.
Why are
Yeah.
you lying?
Hey,
Why are you lying? Why you lying? Why you
had the
lying?
internet work for that one. Zach said, you recording on a Nintendo DS over there.
It's bad, man. I'm on this train and the Wi-Fi is terrible, so I'm like banking on my cell service, and the cell service is spotty too. It all depends
Yeah.
if I go underground or not, man.
All right. So, all right, Dave, looking back at last season, one win. It was against Winston-Salem, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was the game. That was the game where I wanted the coach gone.
That early.
That early.
Yeah.
That was the game. Like the fact you took overtime to beat a Division II opponent. I understand Winston was decent in the CI, but unsat. Want them going at that point.
Yeah. Good news is you can't do any worse.
You can.
No, you can do worse.
Oh yeah.
You can do worse.
Now here's the thing. Like I understand that Tariq went through a soliloquy regarding like how close they were to being allowed opponents. That was something that we weren't doing throughout the season. At home, our losses averaged over 30 points per game. It was brutal at home. So I think that was a big factor in it as well. We lost to our rivals by 42. We lost at G-Ho by 42. It was just brutal across the board with that regard. I think that it came down to I think the talent probably was an issue, but I also think the coaching was probably the main issue. And I think that if we had an actual head coach, we probably would have won more than one game last year. I think there was only one game where we had a legitimate we almost won. Like we came close beating Richmond. Justin Fomby had the day of his life that day out in Richmond. But outside of that, it was pretty much brutal across the board. There really wasn't too many good things to say about what happened last season, other than the fact that they got rid of the coach after the second year.
Hey, I can also me and Hampton. I wish he was here, but we always let's say when A&T announced the hiring of that dude on our next podcast, we said that ain't it. Like right when y'all hired him, it was a bad fit from day one. Day one.
I had
Yeah, I don't know if
some
he heard you.
level
Oh, okay.
of optimism,
Uh-oh.
but
Some optimism. Yeah.
it became apparent it wasn't going to work. It just became apparent, and I think, well, I'll have an idea what this looks like within raising money to pay his buyout at the end of the after Geo. The money was already there. There was time to go.
Yeah. All right, man. So, Reek, y'all got rid of Prunty right before the season.
Yep.
You replace him with an interim coach. With that being said, the success that you had, albeit like we just discussed, it wasn't 500. It was still better than like I said, a lot of people thought. Your thoughts of him coming back for his second season?
Yeah, I think he is building a good program. So if you look at the nuts and bolts of the program and what they're trying to do football wise, I think that stuff is set. What we need to do is prove, or he needs to prove, that he can win close football games and put together like a winning season. So, no sweat. I think he's a good dude. I think he's doing the right thing. But it's been a while since he's like had a winning season or been part of a winning season on any staff. So, I think he's got to prove that. And I think he will, because things are trending in the right direction. But I think that's what he has to do, is like actually get a winning season from the Pirates. I mean, he's recruiting well. He's recruiting well. Um, we got some good foundational pieces. This is what I wanted when we get into the Jackson State talk. Um, you know, front seven defense, solid. Secondary, who knows? Trenches on offense, solid. Running back, solid. Quarterback looks like he's going to be solid, but that those game breakers, that's what he needs to get and solidify. But like I said, nuts and bolts, the things that you need from a program, the coaching, all of his facility stuff, the training, all that stuff is like looking really good. So he knows how to put a program together. We just need to win, like get a winning season.
Yeah. Dave, let me switch to you. Guys brought in Gibbs, return back to A&T, this time in the head coaching role. He also brought in Coach Sam Washington, familiar face, to kind of help things out in this, in transition.
As a consultant. Yeah.
What's the feel around campus?
Everybody's excited. There's a lot of excitement. Because I think they know that they have a coach that's going to have a competitive football team. Now, that being said, he's gonna need a year to get everything that he needs, right? But I think so far he's done an outstanding job from a recruiting standpoint. But he's also had a string of tough luck from a standpoint from the trenches. Like going into the spring game, they only had 6 offensive linemen. They lost their quarterback the day before the game. They broke his leg. So it was a lot of tough luck. That's the second quarterback that was down at that point, because they also lost another quarterback that towards ACL. So that position's got to get solidified. It's going to be interesting. They brought in Champ Long from Maryland. So we'll see if he gets into be able to compete for that starting role. Maybe Kevin White might be able to get back in time after breaking his leg, but we'll see. But he's still got to learn the offense, right? Like, this is a brand new coach, brand new system. Got a new offensive coordinator we got from Howard, Greg McGee. So it's going to be interesting to see. But from the campus and the alum standpoint, they're excited. They haven't been as excited about football in a while. Like the previous coach wasn't really screaming excitement, but I think that it's a familiar face with Sean Gibbs. He understands the program. He knows what he's walking into. He understands the expectations that right now. Now, we don't know what this is going to look like, but I do know that for years on end. And he took somebody else's set of players and somehow got like 5 wins, if I recall correctly, 5 or 6 wins, if I recall correctly, with somebody else's players. So, and he comes from that Rob Broadway ilk. So I expect him to be competitive. Now, the CAA is a monster. I'm not denying that. But this is probably the softest CAA schedule we've had since we've been in the conference, which says a lot, by the way. So, but it's still going to be tough to get some games out once football games this year.
Yeah. Speaking of CAA, Big Reek, I'm gonna come to you with this one. We've seen the headlines. A bunch of teams jumping ship. We've seen everybody saying that, oh, you bring in teams like Hampton and North Carolina A&T, and this is what happens. Nobody wants to be here. Now, I will say everything I've heard.
You forgot about Brian Poole. You forgot about Brian. I think it's very important that you mentioned Brian.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Brian and Campbell. Brian and Campbell.
Yes. I think I want to get in real fast.
And I think you're going where I was going leading to. And I from everything I've heard, it's not necessarily the HBCUs that are driving people out. But the perception is, because the comments that have been made, there goes the neighborhood.
Yeah, but that's Delaware. Like, Delaware is Delaware. I can't do nothing about Delaware. We've seen what they've done for Delaware State. The first time those two play each other, it required an FCS playoff game. So I'm not rolling with anything that Delaware says. But when it comes to the other schools, they were open and they were fine when A&T and Hampton entered the conference, particularly A&T, because at the time A&T had a pretty strong football program. They were rocking in other sports as well. But the football program hasn't shown up yet. That's just the reality of the fact. But some of the other sports have. But at the same time, when they added the last straw was when they added Bryant. And some of you guys probably don't know where Bryant is. I actually do because of where I live. Bryant and Campbell weren't really fits for that particular conference. So it kind of rubbed some folks the wrong with the easy target in this. And then you got the talks about, hey, maybe they'll come back to the MEAC, and that fuels that. But I don't buy that was the reason these teams are making this out of the bulk. I think some of the bigger reasons was some of the other additions as well. And also the fact that they couldn't play the rivalry every year. There was no guarantee that they would get to play. Like, there was no guarantee that Richmond was going to play for them every year with all the teams that were in that conference. So we knew once Richmond made a decision to jump to the Patriot, I knew William and Mary and Villanova was not too far behind.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are some fans who, resented us joining, but they stomached it. Like I said, I don't think that we were the final straw that caused those schools to leave. But I think some people that the other schools were the final straws, but there were some teams that fans who didn't want us there, and I think that contributed to it. That being said, I don't think we'll miss them. Like, I won't. We don't have any rivalry with any of them, and if we can schedule them, sure. But even with those two leaving, there's still 12 football playing teams in the conference, and
There's
the
12 teams
basketball
in that
teams will still
conference.
be there. I mean, that's 12 strong teams. Hell, that's more opportunity to get in the playoffs. So, I mean, I think that we're fine from that standpoint. And as long as basketball stays intact, I'm cool. But, yeah. I don't think, like I said, I agree with that. I don't think we were the catalyst for those
I
people
think the
leaving,
thing
but go ahead.
Yeah, I think the key thing that, like, I'm more worried if College of Charleston leaves. You follow me? Like, I'm more concerned if, like, a College of Charleston leaves, because it's about the full-time teams. Like, William and Mary left, they only took football. They're full-time members of CAA for everything else. Richmond was football only. Villanova was football only. So even with all that, you're talking 12 teams. You still got 12 football programs still in the conference. We can have the discussion of whether or not the conference is stronger or not, but at some point, A&T, Sean Gibbs is going to turn this around. And I think Hampton's going to turn around. So there was a time where Hampton was a football power as well. And I think those moments are going to happen and things are going to shift. It's just going to take some time. It's not going to be an overnight thing.
Yeah, Dave, I don't know about your AD, but I know when we interviewed our AD and just hearing others, like the most important thing, like for Hampton, I mean, football drives everything, but basketball, like that is the key in the CAA. Like if that starts to fall apart, like you said, College of Charleston leaves, and like we don't see Wilmington and Hofstra, and once if those Drexel, if those things change, then we've got some things to worry about. But 12 strong football members and a good basketball conference, I think we're okay. Now, what do you think about all that talk about going back to the MEAC?
And I'm glad because, man, you must be reading my mind. That was my next question for both of y'all. The talks about y'all going back to the MEAC. Now, I will say this from a HBCU fans perspective, I understand it but it it doesn't make sense. And I know that for each school, it wouldn't make sense, but I'll let y'all tell it.
I haven't heard anything about Hampton going back to the MEAC, and I heard Hampton is quite happy in the CA. That's what I've heard. Like we get everything. I mean, you can say the athletic director when we left at the time, the one who was the previous AD said, we can have the best of both worlds. We can, expand and have better opportunities to play in the playoffs and get higher seeds in basketball and still play our rivals. So all that is like been borne out. And I can see improvements that the whole athletic department has made to have to compete in this league. And I like to see that stuff continue. So from my perspective, I'm happy where we are. And I haven't heard anything about Hampton going back to the CAA. But nobody ever hears anything, right? Until it happens. So I mean back to the MEAC. Nobody hears anything until it happens. So, you know. But this always happens every summer, you know that, right? When things get quiet.
Yeah.
Folks got to have a
What
conversation,
about
man.
A&T? Yeah.
A&T, A&T has. I heard there was rumblings about them wanting us to return. I heard we countered saying we'll come back for football only. I don't know how accurate that is, but I also heard that when that was brought up, some folks were fine with it and some were not. So I think A&T from their perspective, they started winning championships in the conference, man. So I think they're set on sticking around, and I think it makes sense for us to stick around. Now we're playing. We have the school schedule. So those are the 3 games that everybody wants to see. Like the other, I'm gonna keep it a buck, and we play all the other MEAC members in other sports. Like we're playing Howard in volleyball later this upcoming season. The travel schedule is much more realized. Like I put the volleyball schedule up, and I said, "What do you notice? We only leave the Carolina. We'll go to New York and go to DC, and we go to DC to play Howard. Right? It was in right around the Greensboro area. So I just think that we're fine where we're at. I know there's some fan disconnected, but there's some fan bases that kind of want us to come back, but I just think that it's not realistic until certain things change within the conference.
Yeah. So Dave, before we
back.
jump into the schedule.
Did you catch?
Yeah, you're yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good.
Before and actually, okay, Dave and Reed, before we get ready to jump into the schedule, what is something that you would like to see, I guess, out of your team this season, for you to feel like it's a success?
I want us to sniff the playoffs or get into it. Like things, that's what I want. Sniff the playoffs or get into it. I mean, it's time. That's what I want. That was one of the reasons for we wanted to get here, right? Get to some postseason stuff there.
I mean, if you want to call the train a
He on
jail,
the train,
you can roll
so.
with that if you like. It's rough.
Hey,
man.
now hold up, Johnny.
Watch this. It's gonna be hilarious.
Johnny throwing shots. He said, he sent a super chat and said, Hampton and A&T both running from the MEAC smoke.
Ain't no smoke, man.
That's fake news.
Yeah, there ain't no smoke. Who's the smoke?
No smoke.
Johnny, which schools?
Yeah. So
I mean, we play 2 to 3 MEAC schools a year. There's only 6 of y'all. Like, what are we talking about?
I was gonna
play half the conference.
I was gonna say A&T still plays a lot of HBC, and as quiet as it's kept, Hampton may not have as much success in football, but when they playing against other HBCUs, that record look pretty good.
Yeah, man.
So,
yeah, yep. They the HBCU killers right now, man.
Yeah,
right.
Had to be out there. Had to be out here walking up in there. I thought you guys were gonna lose the Grams. I was like, y'all wilding, man. I think you really don't understand.
Oh man,
Jackson
all
might
that
be a little
black on
bit
black
different, but we're
violence.
gonna see.
Yeah.
I'm
I,
just saying, man.
I'm,
Like I think folks be out here tripping.
all right. So speaking of that, let's go ahead and get to it. Let's look at the schedule. We can start with Hampton first. Dave, hopefully by that time you'll, be in a little bit clearer area.
Actually, I'm green. I'm all green right now, man. You might want to go with me right now. I
Oh,
got 4
all
bars.
right,
Right
let's
now.
do that then. Let's switch up if you don't mind, Reek. And
No problem.
we'll look at A&T right now. Dave, y'all open up August 30th, Tennessee State in the John A. Merritt Classic.
That should be a really good game, man. And with 2 new head coaches, it's going to be fascinating to see how that goes. I think Tennessee State had way more turnover than A&T had, so it's going to be fascinating to see how that game goes. I think it's a game that A&T can win. Depending on how it goes, but depending on how close the game could be, I could see us winning that one. Like I could see us coming in and winning that one in Nashville.
All right. I'm gonna mark that one as a.
That's a dub.
Right.
You can mark it as a dub because I think it's like
a
if we can't win that game, I'm going to be concerned. I'm going to be more concerned than I was going into the season. But either way, I think Sean Gibbs is going to get every opportunity to make this work because he inherited a certifiable mess.
All right. No disrespect to y'all. Y'all take on UCF.
Yeah, you can go ahead and move on from that.
We can move on past. Man, yeah. The neighborhood turns a corner. Wow. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? They got y'all fighting each other early. We got Hampton coming to Greensboro September 13th, the Chancellor installation. Hey, if you want me to, Dave, I don't want you to listen. I put him backstage if you want me to. You can talk all about.
No, he good. Now we good. Now
we cool, honest, man. We cool.
No, we good. We got a show together, so we good. So, but I'll be honest, man. I could see us win a close one, but I don't think it's gonna be like last year. I'll say that, right? I think this is gonna be a way more competitive game last year. But I will give you this fun fact: we have not beaten Hampton since Hampton has left the MEAC. Like we have not done it yet. We haven't done it yet. We have not been able to beat Hampton since they've left the MEAC. That includes in the Big South and the CAA. So since they have left the conference, we have not been able to beat them in football. So it's overdue. I hope we can pull this out. Like this is one of the possible wins, but we shall see.
All right, I'm gonna mark that as a possible, and I hope you know, we're gonna treat this like spades. We're gonna treat this like spades. Every 2 possums is a book, so
that's fine. That's fine.
Ooh, then we got the Eagle Aggie Classic.
No, it's Aggie Eagle. I don't care how many times they've beat us in a row right now. It's Aggie Eagle. It will remain Aggie Eagle, and we're still leading the series.
All right.
I unfortunately picked these guys to win the MEAC because there really isn't nobody else to pick to win the MEAC. I don't want us to lose to these guys again, but I could see it happen. It's very unfortunate news. It's very unfortunate, especially since it's in Greensboro. I think the game will be closer though because it's in Greensboro. Because it's tough to win in Greensboro. So
Johnny, as long as you keep feeding them super chats and you can talk all the trash you want. He said Hampton is running from the NC, the North Carolina Central Football. So
y'all got to schedule this, man.
All right. So there we go.
You know they be looking for games, man. They be desperate for games now. So they got the 12th game they got to figure out. So they looking. But I will give them some rope. There's been some HBCUs that have not returned their calls, from what I understand.
I'm pretty sure.
I'll leave it at that.
All right. Next up, y'all got Maine at Maine.
If we can't pull off Hampton, this will be our first CAA win up in Maine.
Okay. Next up, you got William and Mary at William and Mary.
Nope. Not happening.
The Vince Brown Classic.
Not happening, guys. Okay. Not happening. Right.
So I'm just make sure I keep track. There's 1, there's 2, and a possum. All right. 3. Okay. All right. Then you got for G-Ho, South Carolina State.
We're gonna get the dub here. We're gonna go ahead and restore order here. We're gonna get the dub here.
All right.
I don't think Chennis has lost some tools, man. And that game was competitive until the 4th quarter with the coach that we had last year. We're gonna make it happen this year.
All right. Next up, you got
G-Ho. We got G-Ho in our house. Yep, we're gonna make it happen this
All
year.
right, you got Campbell, the other troublemaker on the block.
I guess I'm about to give that one the possible too. I'm gonna give that one a possible this year, man. So I give us an outside shot only because it's at home.
All right.
But
All right, then you welcome in Townsend.
nope, not doing it. Everybody saw last year, guys. I saw what I saw last year, and I think Sean Gibbs is going to have us competitive. So let me be clear. I don't think we're going to have the. I don't think we're going to be having blowouts like that. I just think it's going to come down whether or not we can get the trenches right. And he's still recruiting to get some folks in here, but we got to get them trenches right. If we can't get the trench play right, it's gonna be rough. I'm not setting myself up, Zach. Relax, Zach.
All right.
I think
Next up, you got Stony
I
Brook.
think we're gonna be better. They're gonna be Stony Brook's top 25 team. Man, we're not beating Stony Brook at Stony Brook. That's not happening. I'm gonna try to pull up to that game. Those 3 hours away. I'm gonna try to pull up for that one.
All right. Then you got Monmouth at home.
Nope. Don't see it.
And then you finish out the season at Elon.
Elon's lost a lot of folks. We have an outside shot with these guys as well. Even at and the thing is, it being at Elon isn't gonna matter because we're gonna be there. We're gonna take it over.
So
ban everything.
All right.
We're gonna take it over. So ain't no concern there.
So what's that? 500?
I ain't go
Did I get that right? Is that 5 and 7 or 6 and 6? What I get? My math might be bad.
Tennessee State is a win. Your math is definitely bad. There's no way I said 5 or 6 wins. I had a lot of possible.
You said this is a possum. You said that's a possum. That's a possum. You said that's a loss. You said that's a win.
Yeah, going in and out again.
So that's 2 right there. We got 2. That's a loss. So it'd be easy if I count. So that's 1, 2, 3. You said that's a win. So Campbell, what was Campbell?
Yep. That was a possible.
It's a win, possible. Oh yeah, that was the other possible. So then you got Townsend is a loss. Stony Brook is a loss. Monmouth is a loss. And then you said this a possible.
Yep.
That's
4.5.
How many? What y'all only playing 11?
Oh, that 12. That's 12 games. I did not say 6. If I said 6, I got to reduce that. I had a more wins.
You tell me what I should put down here. So we're looking at so realistically, what are you looking at, like 4 and 8, or are you looking at like 5 and 7? Is that kind of the question?
4 wins max. I don't think we can win. I think if we win 4 games, that's a successful season for us. But I could see us going 2 and 10. I could see us going 3 and 9. But if we get 4 wins, that's a win for us. That's a big win for us. That's a successful season for us. Now, if we go over that, I'll be amazed.
Hey, Zach,
don't be out here giving Zach. Do not be out here giving.
I got a spreadsheet with everybody prediction this year because people be like, I ain't say that. Nah, it's on. I'm getting it on record, and we're gonna make sure we have it out there.
Reality, I think it's gonna probably end up being 3 wins, but I think the most is gonna be 4. I think we're not gonna go past 4.
And I do want to say this. I'm keeping up with what people saying, not because it's more out of jest and fun, because a lot of people say stuff and you be like, man, they talking crazy. And then at the end of the year, you look back and be like, maybe they weren't as crazy as you thought.
The Tennessee game is going to be critical. I think if we can come out of Tennessee State with a win, I could see a legitimate shot for us to get 4. If we don't win, it could get bad. It can get ugly quickly. Like we could end up with just another 1-win season easily. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Like I think it's critical that it's critical that we come into the game against Tennessee State and get that win. It's critical.
Yeah. ODB said Josh gonna scream regardless when it comes to us. Yeah, thank you, Adam. We gonna see who lying. That's exactly what
Well, man,
figured out.
you ain't getting 9 wins out of me, and you definitely ain't getting 6 out of me. Say that right now. I'm really sorry. And I'm concerned about the trenches as well. So
Right.
those two things makes it tough.
All right, Reek, it's your turn. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I actually like y'all schedule too. Y'all open up with Jackson State in Jackson on August 30th.
I love y'all
That's
schedule
tough.
this, man. I love y'all schedule this.
That's tough. Yeah, I don't see if we won, that would be a huge upset. Put it that way. I don't think we're gonna win
I
that one.
I will
I
say
think this
this.
game is gonna be closer than you. I don't think this game will be close. You're gonna give it credit for Tariq. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think y'all
Yeah.
gonna
No,
win.
I think
But I
it'll be
think this game is gonna be
close. I think it'll be
close.
close.
And I think if y'all do
I'm not gonna
win,
say close. I think it's gonna be closer than a lot of people are saying. I will say that. I think a lot, like I said before, people give Hampton give Hampton a lot of flack saying that, saying about the football. But when y'all play other HBCUs, you're a lot more competitive than people expect.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think Hampton is gonna bring a big nasty team, to Jackson, Mississippi. The difference is Jackson State, they got some game changers, especially on offense.
mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
the problem. I mean, there's nobody that Iowa game plan for, right? On Hampton's team, at least who's emerged yet. But on the trenches, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll handle that. Like you're gonna see them on the side, like there's some big boys. So and they're really athletic. So I think we'll be okay there, but they're gonna have some guys who just, you're just gonna
I
run by you.
think I think if Hampton with the trench play can slow this game down, this game
Yeah.
is going to be close.
Oh, trench
And
is gonna
I
be
think
nice. I mean,
I'm just saying, like, and if Hampton pulls this off, you're not going to hear the end of it from me, guys.
Mm,
I'm telling you, because there's no question who the cream of the crop is in the SWAC right now. There's no debate. If
yeah.
Hampton walks in there and goes to Jackson and does this, you're going to hear it from me. I expect Jackson to win this game, but I think it's going to be close. You guys are saying it's going to be a blowout. So a lot of people saying blowout. I ain't rolling. I think
nah,
it's
no
going to be
blowout.
very close. I think Jackson's going to pull it out, but I think it's going to be very close. And I think folks
Yep.
will
Yeah.
give a level of understanding of a difference. Like Hampton is still trying to grow as a program. They've had a couple shots to beat top 25 programs last year. They should have beat 2 of them last year. So they're going to be competitive in this game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Johnny Tariq said he'll ensure that North Carolina Central's AD calls Hampton's AD if you ensure that your AD will answer the phone and sign the contract or open the mail.
Man, we ain't scared of y'all. If we playing Jackson State, we ain't scared of Central, man. Like, come on, man.
Ooh,
That's
We ain't
true.
afraid
ooh.
of them, man.
Hold
Well,
up, hold up.
Jackson knows how to get to that game, but
I gotta make sure I post this. My man said Hampton for the upset. My man Troy said Hampton for the upset. Book it.
I
that
like you,
that
Troy.
point spread is gonna be big too, and I'm taking the points.
Well,
I'm
what is the
taking the points.
spread? What's the spread? Oh,
It's
well, we
probably
don't
gonna
know
be like
yet.
if I had to guess,
No, I ain't put out
it'll
yet.
at least be 10. It'll be at least be
Yeah.
10, and I'm taking the points.
It's not gonna happen. Oh man, what Adrian Crook? I know he'll be in here talking about Hampton by 40. But all
I'm
right,
actually
let's
gonna try
move
to get
on.
to this game too. I'm trying to get down there.
Next up, y'all take on Elizabeth City State.
That's a win.
All right,
It better be.
Yeah,
and then you got A&T.
that's a win.
All right, now I don't know if she watching. I'm sorry, E.
He know what
It's
time
been
it
what?
is.
It's been what?
He
4
already
years in a
knows it's a
row.
win too. He knows
Lord
it's a
have
win.
mercy.
No, it's been
What?
like
4
almost a
years in a
decade.
row.
How are people?
It's been over a
How are
decade.
people already write it, chalk it up to a loss? They already know
No,
it's a
it's been
loss.
over a decade. It's like
Yeah.
11
It's been
straight.
it.
It's been like 11 or
Oh
12
Lord.
straight.
Mm.
It's been that long.
I
Let me get the
said
let me
when
get the
we
exact
got
number
to the
because I don't want to
CAA,
I don't want to I want to make sure.
If Hampton handles his business, we'll never lose to Howard again, ever.
Mm, mm. All right, so
Jesus.
marking that one.
Let
Elon.
me. I want to get the number right. Hold on.
Okay, all right, you go check that.
Please, next station stop is Bridgeport.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's been 9 in a row.
So we're
9
gonna
in a
stop.
row.
We stopped counting.
8 in a row. 8 in
Yeah,
a row.
man.
It's 8 in
Come
a
on,
row.
man.
So it's been a while.
We'll probably have a
Said,
tougher
which
game
one?
against Elizabeth City than Howard.
Ooh,
Dang, man, that's tough. That's
shots.
not. See, that's reckless behavior right there.
Yeah.
That's reckless behavior right there.
Yep.
You ain't had to do that, man. That's reckless behavior right there.
Yep.
Mm.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's been
All right. So
Obama.
that means we starting
Yeah,
about
it's been
3-1.
Obama was
All
president.
right.
We've seen Trump twice.
Damn.
I mean,
All right.
Hey,
All right. You
I'm
got
just serious. We
Elon.
have. Am I lying?
No, you that's true. That's true.
Elon, man, that's
What
a tough one. That's a possible because I mean, last year we thumped Elon at our place, and then 2 years ago they beat us like we stole some at their place. So I don't know. I'll give us the win. I mean, that's a possible. Can I count that? Yes, possible.
They should be able to.
P.
Y'all should be able to beat them. They lost a lot. They lost a lot of talent. Y'all should be able to beat them
Did
this
they
year.
bring guys back?
Even, not like that, from what I understand. Y'all should be able
Okay.
to beat them this year.
All right.
all right. You got the Battle
No
of the Bay
folks.
taking on Norfolk State.
No folks. That's a win.
With Vic. You gonna give Vic that dub. I mean that loss. Okay.
Yeah, we ain't worried about Vic, man. We ain't worried about
All
Vic.
right.
Nah, man. Look,
Y'all
he's
take
married
on
to a pirate. Ain't he's married to a pirate, man. You gotta keep.
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta
the
keep the
best thing he
peace.
ever did. That's why he's still on the straight and narrow.
all right. Next up, Campbell.
That's a win. We're at home too. I'm going crazy here, but that's a win. That means we like 6. Yeah, that's a win.
All right. Villanova.
It's probably a loss. It's probably L.
All right. All right.
Yeah, that's a fade.
Monmouth for homecoming.
That's a win. Got to win that one.
All right. Then you take on Maine.
I'll take that as another W.
All right. Then William and Mary, 757 Community Day.
Just can't beat them
Senior
boys.
Day.
That's an L.
All right. Then you got Rhode Island to finish out the season.
Hey, I might come up there and see you for that one, Dave. That's
In Rhode Island.
L. Yep, that's an L. It's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
plan.
nasty,
I'm planning on
cold,
attending that one.
wet. Yeah, you don't want to be up in Rhode Island in
We almost
November.
beat. Hey, I'll tell you what though, man. We almost beat Rhode Island 2 years ago in Rhode Island. We came real close.
Yeah, we should have beat
real
them.
close.
We had them. We had them.
And
Then we had a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter.
and he
Yeah,
and
he
the thing
breezed.
about Rhode
He
Island,
breezed
man,
past him, Zach, but he said there was a loss. He said it was a loss, Zach.
No, Monmouth for homecoming. We're gonna beat them for home. We're at
Oh
home.
no, you did say. Oh, I
Oh, he
thought
no,
my
he
bad.
picked Monmouth to win for homecoming.
Who's
Yeah.
it was you had a possum up here somewhere. So right
Oh,
now I
that
got
was
7 in the possum.
Elon.
I got 7 in the possum. So what we going with?
I'll take 7 and 5.
All right, we got 7
That's
and
a good year
5.
for you guys.
Yeah, that's good. And
That's a good year for
if
you
we're
guys.
7 and 5, that means the last 2 weeks we are sniffing the playoffs. I'll take that.
And depending on what Rhode Island's at, man, because Rhode Island's got high end. Like there's a lot of hype for them this year. If it goes crazy and it is not nearly as good as what they expect them to be, there's a possibility that Rhode Island might not even be wake up for that game to close out the season.
Yeah.
Possibly, but that it all depends. I mean, I could see Jackson. I could see Hampton winning 7 games, man. This is a light schedule from a CAA standpoint. Like the tough game,
It
we
is.
got Villanova and William and Mary, but
No
considering what
Delaware,
we've,
no Richmond.
yeah, it helps. It helps. You don't have to run in New Hampshire, which should be good this year. Like no Stony Brook. Like you
No
did okay.
Albany.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither
No
one of y'all
Albany.
got Albany.
Or
Yep.
we haven't played Albany yet, so we haven't
Mm.
played Albany yet. So like if we get our first CAA, like I think the big thing for A&T is get the first CAA win, man. That's the big one. We got to get a conference win.
Yeah.
And the
So
only
let
opening
me
I
ask
see
y'all this.
that's realistic is Maine.
Dave, I'm gonna start with you just because your service situation. Biggest game on your schedule.
It's always Aggie Eagle. It's always Aggie Eagle. Now, if you want to talk about the biggest conference game, outside of Hampton, it's probably the game against Elon to close the season is going to be a big one, and then probably I know, but it's always going to be Aggie Eagle on our schedule, man. Like that is the game. South Carolina State at homecoming is going to be big too. I have my thoughts about playing HBCU during GHO, but I've already been on the record numerous times about that. I'm not the biggest fan of us playing South Carolina State at GHO, but only because that's a game that's going to draw regardless. You don't need GHO to draw it. Put somebody on the schedule that put another team, put Monmouth on the schedule, somebody else on the schedule.
Yeah,
like we've already
AJ
proven that we
now
can
say
settle things out in
Maine
the
is the
day,
biggest
regardless of
game.
who we play. So we don't really need it. I think we're leaving money on the table when we do that. That's just that's business standpoint from my perspective.
All right.
Yeah, Maine. I
Rick,
mean,
what
that
about
could be
you?
our first conference
Hampton,
win, so
biggest game.
that's fair.
Biggest game for us is Norfolk State. Michael Vick, Hampton Roads. Is that Hampton? Yeah, I think that's the biggest game of the season. Second is probably that Jackson State game because hopefully that'll be on TV and everything. That'll be the second biggest, but Norfolk State, that's the biggest game.
All right.
I'm looking forward to that William and Mary game. I hope we can get a win before they lead the conference. We just can't beat them. We just can't beat them, man.
What game on your schedule will you know that all right, we're gonna be all right this season? Not necessarily, wins and losses, but hey, we taking a step in the right direction as a program.
Elon. Because if they're
For you,
down, like Dave says, then we should beat them pretty good. And after that Elon game, we should be at worst, I'm hoping, 4-1.
for you, Dave.
Tennessee State. We didn't win a Division I game all year, like last season. So for me, it's if we show up, we open and we do really well against Tennessee State and pull and get the dub. I think that's gonna give us some level of progression that that folks realize. Only because I think a lot of the folks that came back from this team from last year, they got to learn how to win. A lot of these guys don't know how to win, so I think it would be big if they can come and win the opener in Nashville against Tennessee State. Even though it's not the same roster as last year, they are the Big South HBCU champion. But so that would be big for us.
Yeah.
Johnny is wild.
He said
that it ain't got nothing
Johnny
to do
said,
with.
why don't the Aggies want MEAC competition for GO? And he put A66 GIES.
Yeah, because he can't spell. So I can't do nothing about the guys when they can't spell down the road. But either way, it's not about MEAC competition. It's more about the fact that it's about if you don't play a rivalry game at homecoming. South Carolina State is one of our rivals. You don't play a rivalry game at homecoming. That's one thing. And so I don't think Hampton would play Howard at homecoming or Norfolk at homecoming.
No.
We shouldn't be playing South Carolina State or the school down the road at homecoming. We should not be doing that. That is leaving money on the table. So I know that there's some alums that want to see that, but for me, the game sells out. Like there folks are selling tailgate spots right now for GHO because the tailgate spots already sold out. Like it's not an issue when it comes to like getting the product sold for that game. And it doesn't matter who we play, we've already proven it. We played Campbell at G-Ho, it's sold out. We played Mamada at G-Ho, it's sold out. We played Townsend at G-Ho, it's sold out. So it doesn't make any sense to put one of our premier games at G-Ho. That's just my opinion. You could put anybody else in it. Put Campbell there. You could put anybody else on there in the CAA that we play. I mean, if you want to see a win, then play Lynchburg if you want to see it win that bad at homecoming like some of the other schools.
Yeah.
They still got a program?
Or Lincoln, California.
Yeah, they do.
Like
they do.
They do. Yeah, right
they
now.
do.
Hey, don't air
because they keep scheduling, like they keep HBCU keep scheduling them. So
everybody in the chat, y'all do us a favor. If you're not already subscribed, please go over to our YouTube channel. Subscribe. We trying to hit that 1,000. I think we're like 9 away, something like that. So
oh yeah, y'all gotta make that happen.
Yeah. AJ said the furniture market is a big reason why we have South Carolina State for G-Ho.
Yeah, the area doesn't want the furniture market and G-Ho happening the same weekend. So they have to be separate weekends. G-Ho is like the biggest event for the city of Greensboro, one of the biggest events in the state of North Carolina. So they don't want to have like it's already going to be chaos with just G-Ho alone, and then on top of the furniture market, because furniture is one of the biggest things they have in the state. So that's understood.
All right. All right, fellas, we've gone through the schedule. We talked about some of the biggest games. One thing I didn't talk about, and forgive me for not doing this, personnel, key personnel on the team that we should be looking out for. Dave, somebody we aren't talking about that we probably should be for A&T.
I mean, outside of Corian Sharp, because he's coming back, he made a decision to come back. One of our offensive linemen, I think he's going to be a big factor with regards to the leadership of the team. He's been there for a while. He considered hopping into the portal. He decided to stay, which is beautiful in itself. I know it's not always the sexy thing to talk about trench.
Dang it. You were getting good, man.
Yeah. Oh, we lost him. All right, Reek, I'm gonna flip that over to you. Somebody key personnel we're not talking about right now.
Jaquan Snipes, running back. He should be on some preseason list for the CAA. So he's solid, 6'1", 215. And then defensively, Michael Matthews Canty. I'm happy he didn't hit the portal. Let's worry about him hitting the portal at linebacker. He'll be solid. And I think the guy who's really gonna save our season or make our season is the quarterback, Isaiah Freeman. He's a transfer from Lincoln University. And I talked to a head coach who game planned against him. And he said, we got a good one. He said, I mean, there were a lot of schools after him. I don't know how we got him, but I think if he shows up the way that, he's capable of, then he'll be a game changer for us.
Yeah. All right, Dave, you cut out on this. I know you were just getting to the point you were talking about the trenches. You said it's not sexy to talk about the trenches. And then you cut out.
Yeah. I know we know it's not sexy to talk about the trenches, but I think it's going to be very important for us to have a legitimate shot to win some football games this year. So I'm rolling with Corian Sharp.
All right. Position.
What does he play? What position does he play? Sorry, man. Corian Sharp.
Oh no, you good. You good.
What position does he play, Dave?
No, he's on the line. Tackle.
Offense? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to keep repeating
like,
the trenches too, but we gonna be solid in the trenches, man. I'm looking forward to that, both sides.
Yeah, like I really wish. I think we had a lot of folks who came and went after the coaching change, and I think Coach Gibbs is doing a phenomenal job recruiting to try to get some more guys in, and he's getting some pretty good players. So we'll see what we got from that aspect. We're trying to we got the NIL going, which is good. So we're gonna see how it goes.
All right. Now back to you, Dave. Position group that you're worried about the most.
Oh God. Defensive line. I'm gonna like I'm always a believer that the trenches is the way to win football games, and I'm very concerned about the defensive line. The way we got pushed last year was unsat across the board, and it could have been because of scheme. Because I feel, and I do believe it was because of the scheme that we had, and I think Sean Gibbs is going to make the proper adjustments. But I have legitimate concern about both the offensive and the defensive line this year. So, but I'm more
Reek, I
concerned about the
think you.
defensive line.
Yeah, Reek, I think you alluded to this earlier. What about you?
Concerned wide receivers, like I don't know what we got there. Some of our best ones graduated, transferred, got the bag somewhere else. So wide receiver, that's all mysterious there. Somebody could emerge, but a lot of mystery. And then defensive back. So we lost like two deep, either the graduation or to the transfer portal. So it's gonna be like a whole new backfield. So you got to integrate all those guys. But yeah, so that's my biggest concern: wide receivers and defensive backs. Man, those guys hit the portal, man. Like I guess for every team, like man, if you got a good wide receiver, you better pay him. Or a
Yeah,
DB, man, those guys run
yeah.
quick.
All right, now
And
let's
not
flip
just
it to the
them.
other
It's not
side.
just them. It's not just them positions,
Yeah,
man.
Just everybody. Well, from
Yes.
us, man, shoot, because we get some good ones in, man. They don't stay. They every year we lose some big receivers to the portal, man, and defensive backs. I mean, to P5 schools,
yeah,
P4.
and
That means your coach can recruit.
Yeah, that's why I think we're gonna be all right.
yeah,
We're gonna be all
Yeah,
right.
that means your coach can recruit, man.
Yeah.
yeah. Now I want to flip this to the other side. When I say the other side, strengths. And Big Rick, I start. Big Rick, I start with you. Strengths of your team.
The running game. Running game is gonna be strong. Like it's solid, period. So we're gonna have some big tight ends. Tight ends gonna be all 6'5", 6'4", 260, 270. Linemen's are huge. Linemen is huge. Running backs are huge. It's gonna be a big ass team. Sorry. So that's gonna be fine offensively. And then defensively, I think the linebackers. Like we got some new guys coming, but they're solid too. But I think the defensive line they brought in they brought in like two ends from West Virginia. They got some couple guys who are really coming in who have some potential, but I think the linebackers are gonna be really good. So that's gonna be the strength on defense, linebackers.
All right, what about you, Dave?
Oh, the secondary for me and the wide receivers are going to be fascinating this year. I think the biggest concern I have is the fact that we got some quarterback challenges, but I think we got some really good talent in the wide receiver position. The running back there, I just don't think anybody's emerged to be the one yet. Like we got Shameik Blizzard, Wesley Graves, but I'm not sure if nobody's emerged to be the guy yet, which might not be a bad thing if we could have a platoon system, but overall, I think the wide receiver position is going to surprise some folks this year. I really do believe that. And of course, our secondary is still solid, even with the loss of Prunty. I think our secondary is going to be really good this year.
Mm.
And that was a big loss. When we lost Prunty, that was a big loss.
Hmm.
Yeah. What's good, Flicks? Johnny chimes in, says, Bull, you youngsters want it easy. In MEAC football, we put all the marbles on the table. G-Ho, my ho, homecoming or not.
Johnny, y'all don't know. Johnny, I don't always put all your marbles on the table. I've seen some of y'all homecoming opponents. Johnny, y'all don't always put your marbles on the table.
Yeah. Well, man,
Kelly sees it too, by the way. Kelly sees it. Kelly sees it.
Yeah, I'm low-key scared of Hampton.
Kelly,
Yeah, just
Kelly
go.
sees it, man.
Just I'll say this: just watch this team come off the bus. Just that's all. We'll see if all that stuff in the back
I'm
end,
telling you,
come together. But watch this team come off the bus. It's gonna be.
Hampton is gonna
Yeah.
Hampton is gonna be Hampton is gonna be Jackson State's toughest FCS opponent this season. I'll say that. Hampton is going to be Jackson State's toughest FCS opponent. I know they got FBS program opponent they got this year, but they're going to be their toughest FCS opponent this year. I'll just go ahead and lay that out there on the line for you guys.
Okay. We shall see.
You can add that to the spreadsheet, man. I'll own it. I'll own it if it's not the case.
My bad, fellas.
Hey,
I'm
who
trying
did
to.
Jackson State? I mean, I know they're supposed to win, but do they have what's the anybody know the lowdown on them? What's their I just know they got some really good talented receivers and playmakers, but
Now they got good. They got good church play too,
yeah.
and they got a pretty good NIL collective as well. So they've been able to keep players pretty
Mm.
well. So they got a lot of folks coming back. So I think they're going to be formidable. Like I expect. I truly believe that. I know folks don't want to hear it. I know everybody else that's not Jackson State fans don't want to hear it. But I expect them to run through the SWAC, run through the East, and win the SWAC championship.
I can see that.
That's what I expect. Barring injuries, of course. Like injuries can happen, and injuries can shift it. But that's what I expect. I think TC Taylor has a current advantage that nobody else has. And I think PV is going to need another year with Tremaine there to legitimately win the SWAC. I could see them winning the West, but I think PV needs another year, and so does the Sam Shade needs some time to build his program as well. Y'all have already heard my thoughts on FAMU and their coach, so I'm not gonna rehash that.
So, Flicks asks Dave, how you feel about Champ Long at QB?
I'm gonna be honest, man. With all the injuries that we've had at the position, I wouldn't be stunned if he ends up winning that job. I think Braxton Thomas is gonna push him, and if KJ White returns, then of course I expect him to push him as well. So I think Champ Long is a pretty good addition. Would not shock me if he ends up starting. Would not shock me one bit.
Yeah.
Injuries kind of crushed. Injuries kind of hurt us pretty bad in spring and prior to the spring game, to the point where we couldn't even have a game. We had to do a scrimmage.
All right.
It's
I
tough,
asked
man.
this
I mean, it's
question.
gonna be hard to recover from that, especially when you kind
Yeah,
of
it is.
No,
thin.
I know that's why I'm
I
trying
asked
to
this
temper
question
the
last.
Aggies' expectations. So
All right, my bad. But I asked this question last show to our Southern and FAMU guys. I asked this. We have 7 brand new coaches in HBCU D1 football. Tennessee State, Alabama A&M, Prairie View, A&T, Mississippi Valley. It's 2 more. Who am I missing? Oh, Norfolk State, Delaware State.
yes,
Which coach has the most success year 1?
oh PV easily. PV Prairie View. I got them winning the West. So it's Prairie View for me.
They just
I
do
think
they
Tremaine
is it
Jackson.
did they bring a lot of talent back or did he recruit well?
I
What's
thought
the
I think Tremaine Jackson has done an outstanding job recruiting. I know they gave him heat about his rule set about when to call him and hit him up, but I think he's done a phenomenal job recruiting. So I think PV is going to win the West, and I think the West is not like I think Southern's a legitimate threat to repeat, but I think that the West is not that strong, so I could see them winning the West.
I got Norfolk State, man.
Wow, you're a
I
believer
mean
in
the
the Vic,
MEAC
man?
is no, I'm not I think it's dare I say an easy road for him. I mean, who scares you in the MEAC?
All I'm gonna the school down to say is this: this road does not win the MEAC. I'm going to donate institution. I stand.
They should. Let's look
I
at their
stand by it.
schedule real quick while we're here. Uh, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of
I
energy
mean, the only I
behind
think
them. They
I
they
think
ain't beating
Morgan,
us.
if they can figure out the quarterback situation,
They got an interesting schedule, man. I mean, they got Towson, Rutgers. That's only two. I mean, they got Sacred Heart. They could win that game. Wagner, Wofford, then the MEAC. I don't know. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. I guess South Carolina State, they'll be tough again. and Central. And I guess Morgan, it's tough, man. But I wouldn't be surprised if Vic, you know, uh pulls something out of his pull the rabbit out in some way.
I
But I forgot about
I
South
I
Carolina State, boy.
I, I think South Carolina State gonna take a step back this year. Like I
I
think the
think
only
so
I'll be
too, as I
honest,
think
man.
about it.
I think the only threat in the MEAC right now for the school down the road is probably Morgan. And Morgan, they got to find an offense. For the love of God, find an offense, Morgan. If they have an offense, they could beat them.
They won't.
But
They
that's
won't have
that's
one. They
probably
won't
it.
have one. They won't
I
have
mean,
one.
that's probably it though. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing. That's
they
that's
won't.
probably it. Like I'm going to keep it. I'm gonna keep it a bean. It's
Yeah.
probably Morgan. Like I mean, I think I don't want to sleep on Howard because Erica killed me, but I
Nah,
don't know
sleep
what
on
they're
'em.
gonna do. Like we took the yeah. I mean, we took the offense coordinator, so I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't
All
know how
right,
that's gonna go.
Dave. So you got a question in here. Said lots of energy, lots of injuries last year and in the offseason at North Carolina A&T. Coincidence or indication of a larger problem?
I think it's a coincidence, man. I think it was a string of bad luck with what happened with the quarterback positions and what's going on with the offensive line. I think it was a coincidence. I think the bottom line is when you have a new coach walk in, there's a different level of expectations that you're going to get from that new coach as well. So when you take all those things into account, I just think it's more of a coincidence.
Johnny chimes in, says JSU boat races. Hampton. Dave, don't placate Hampton.
Look, man, just get that head out your heart, my man.
Yeah.
They'll
Right.
schedule they'll schedule y'all at some point. You got to remember, unlike the MEAC, we only got 3 or 4 slots for out of conference games. We ain't got 7. Like we only got 3 or 4. Well, it's gonna be 4 starting next year permanently.
Yeah.
So there ain't like so to give Hampton some grace. They want to play FBS. They want to try to get an FBS school on the schedule. And they're gonna play Hampton. They're gonna play Howard and Norfolk every year. So that leaves only one team left, and they're probably gonna try to probably play a D2 school typically, like whether it's Virginia State or or um or Virginia Union. So like
Jeff said you get excited when you talk about the MEAC. He said just join the
who?
MEAC. You get excited.
Why?
Oh
I
man.
just get annoyed. I think for me, I just get annoyed. We ask the same old question every year. Why don't we come back? Change we've left.
For those of you joining us here in New Haven, welcome aboard Regional 45 minutes.
Somebody said
Safer Connecticut.
give
We don't
Johnny a
know when
virtual
goes
hug.
direct by Connecticut. Safer Connecticut 25 minutes.
Oh man. Well, fellas, look, it's been real. I truly appreciate y'all coming through. Before we get ready to go again, I want to urge the chat. Please do us a favor. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, let somebody know. Dave, let the people know where they can find you, what you got coming up next, and what's going on with you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys for the invite once again. You can catch me on Twitter at champd1012. I'm also the host of Panther Nation podcast. I go live every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. I do Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab for the End Report on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And MD's coming back very soon. Me and Banks gonna figure out when we're gonna come back. We just gonna randomly just say we're gonna have a show on Thursday and we're gonna return. Football season's approaching, but PNP is every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just check us out on YouTube. Just pull up PNP and you'll see us. We're the largest independent show that covers the Panthers.
All right, Big Reek.
Yeah, you can find me at www.hupirateship.com where we talk about the Pirates. So my host Jeff and I, we do a podcast. It's been a while because life events, but we're gonna fire up that podcast soon. But in the meantime, we're on Dr. Cavill's show with Dave every Wednesday. One of us is usually talking about A&T and Hampton and the rest of the HBCU Independent. So find us there and go Pirates.
All right. It's a train, Flex. Yeah, he was dedicated to it. Zach
Aggie
said
This is
pride.
definitely a
MEAC
train.
said
Aggie
cut his
prize.
internet.
Look, man, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they probably they tinkered with it a little bit, but now this train. Let me tell you something, man. I like train rides, but man, the Wi-Fi was tough on these trains on the
Is
way
that
here, man.
Amtrak?
Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, it's Amtrak,
Okay.
and I got business class, hoping that it might be
Oh
better
man.
here. I was sorely disappointed.
Dang.
All right.
I gotta go get my free. I gotta go get my free drink though.
All right. Troy asks, when does the MEAC media rights deal end? I don't know if I don't know. I have no clue.
I'm pretty sure it's 2027. And don't ask me what's going to happen.
All right. Yeah.
Because I
Um.
have no clue.
I mean, that's another reason why. I mean, who knows if the financials change, Dave? But if you heard, but I've heard Hampton's little financial media rights deal is pretty nice. With that what's that sports package they're on with Hampton and um A&T with the Big South?
What floor sports?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I heard
flow.
that
Floor
We
that
got
sports.
pays
flow,
pretty
and then
well.
y'all got games on Monumental, and we got games on my 48 locally.
Yes,
The media
and
rights
I
deal for flow
heard.
sports is 6 times what the media gets.
Yeah, and I heard that someone said to me, who knows the numbers, they said you be like when that Hampton, those little those monumental games come on and they come on in some small town in like Texas, he be like, you'd be surprised how many people watch those games for places where you wouldn't think nobody would watch Hampton. So I mean
We
those things, I don't see
we
why Hampton would. I mean that's what I'm
locally, I'll tell you this, locally in the PMI triad, we outrated an SEC game that came on at the same time
Mm,
in that area. So there's a audience for that. And then when you think
yep,
about the fact that when we play other schools, like when we, and particularly in basketball and other sports, when we play Drexel, they got the regional cable network.
yep,
We're on television in Philadelphia. Like
hmm
it's just a little bit different from that. And besides the fact that the contract, like ESPN, like RAD talked about it, man. It was 6 times the amount when we're making in MEAC in the Big South. It was 6x. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a no-brainer.
All right. All right. Just an admin note. Monday, we have Howard, Morgan State, and North Carolina Central coming on. Get to break them down.
My God.
yeah.
Y'all already know what time it is.
That's gonna be some. That's gonna be some.
Oh man, that
You're
might
not
be
gonna have
2
much of a
hours, man.
show,
Yeah,
Pooh.
that might be 2 hours.
Hey,
You're gonna be the HBCU double hour.
Yep.
hey,
You're gonna be the HBCU double hour next week, and
yeah,
then don't let Ant be here. Oh my goodness
yeah.
gracious.
We taking off Thursday in observance of Juneteenth, so we'll be out on Thursday unless some pops up, something happens. But yeah, man, that's it. Again, like I said, on behalf of Ann and myself, man, appreciate y'all for coming through. Truly, thank y'all for rocking with us, coming through, giving us insight on y'all part of the neighborhood. You know, driving down them property values and getting the people mad. But we'll be back on next Monday. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. And like that, we out.
Peace.